Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Princess Lily M baby, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new here, I am Princess Lily M, and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. We're all about faith. We love God. We love Jesus. We are all about beauty and lifestyle. Goodness me, so please do stick around, and guys, thank you. Do subscribe, share my content. I really appreciate this type of stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying my pregnancy journey so far. Last week's video was a bit hectic even though I say so myself. This is an amazing road that I have been on from 2021 when we started with the guyness till carrying, conceiving this baby and even having this baby. I just want to send a special shout out to my husband. It's our anniversary month, and it's actually our anniversary week, 12th of July. I love you so much, baby, and watching you become a dad, you're just amazing. You're an amazing husband overall. All right, so let's get onto it. On today's video, we are talking about my first trimester, and then I'm going to be telling you all the things that I did not know existed until I was expecting. Boy, was I in for a shock. Now, my story began obviously with the guyness and all that. I just want to put a disclaimer here that we are all different. We experience things in a different light. We experience things so differently. We go through things differently. My experience may not necessarily be your experience. When I found out that I was pregnant, immediately I had to make this decision. Lily, you're pregnant. This is a gift from God. This is your miracle. Nobody is going to take it away from you, okay? You have been given this by God Himself, okay? Now that we got that out of the way, I eliminated fear. I'm a person who used to struggle and suffer with anxiety and depression. I think we never get healed or cured. It's like one of those things that you learn to live with it, but it's there. It just doesn't affect you, or the symptoms don't come up anymore, or something like that. From the beginning, when I found out I was pregnant, I was the most happiest, the most joyful I have been in a long time. I remember these feelings when I got married to my husband, when I graduated, things like that. I was at peace again, or I am at peace again, and it was beautiful. I don't like to attach peace, happiness, joy to things of this world, because I believe that it should all be found in God. And I'm so grateful for this miracle of mine. I believe that He gave it to me, and He gave me that peace and joy to enjoy it. Even though I didn't know that I was pregnant until 2 months later, I would like to believe that I know when this baby was conceived. I get onto a bus to Maung that day, right? It was so emotional. I've never cried this much for leaving my husband. I always cry all the time, baby, don't leave me. I don't want to do this. No. Should I really be going? Let me quit. I'm so sorry to my husband. Right? So what happens now? I get off the bus. I am fatigued, extreme fatigue. I don't know what's going on. That entire day, my migraines are back. I am sick. I am so sick. I don't know. And I believe that was day 1 of conception. That, goodbye. Yeah. So I am extremely fatigued. For the next following days, I am sick. I just don't know how to explain it. Every single day, I am sick. I don't want to eat anything. I'm always hungry. When I put something into my mouth, it immediately comes out. I'm vomiting all the time. I'm not even vomiting only in the mornings. I'm vomiting when I'm trying to have lunch. I'm vomiting when I'm trying to have supper. I have heartburn for days. It's terrible. Here's one other thing that I didn't know until I was expecting. I couldn't wear earrings. I had these earrings that I had on. I never used to take them off. These, I believe, were I don't know if I should call real or the coating on them, because usually like I said in previous videos, I just get cheap earrings and call it a day. But these ones were really expensive because this part, I believe, is very sensitive, and it had once gotten an infection from these fake earrings. Started irritating me. I'm like, not these damn earrings, because these are so expensive. The ones you get from American Swiss and Stens, I specifically buy for the upper part. I don't know what it's called. Start irritating me. And then I watched a YouTuber talk about how she knew she was expecting it was her second baby. And then she said once her ears started rejecting earrings, she knew that I'm expecting. So I was off earrings the whole year. No earrings. That is one thing that I did not know until I was expecting. I don't know how it correlates. I have no idea. I am sick, constantly sick, to the point where I thought that I was dying. Go to the doctor's office, and he kind of diagnoses me with ulcers. He says he suspects it's ulcers. He puts me on this medication that is for ulcer treatment and goes about his day. Doesn't test for pregnancy, and that's it, right? And he had asked my history, and I did tell him that I did struggle with fertility issues. I get to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist lady is like, no. This is like medication that you prescribe to somebody when it's you really have a diagnosis, you really know what's wrong with this person. And she was like, I do not recommend you to take this. No, go back to that doctor. And I'm like, lady, just give me the meds. Give me the medication. She gives me the meds. She's very hesitant. I'll never forget that. And I'm so thankful for her, because she was like, no, this doesn't sit well with my spirit. Only to later find out that this medication, pregnant women shouldn't be taking it at all. So I'm so grateful to her. Even though I took the meds, fortunate enough, I couldn't eat anything. And you need to have eaten to take the meds. So I didn't take the meds. I couldn't take the meds. So that was obviously that. So fast forward, I then go on to asking for a sick leave. I did ask for a sick leave. Came back, and I told my husband that, nah, I'm dying, dude. Like, it's over for me. I sat him down, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And I felt so guilty because I honestly didn't know what was wrong with me. And then we got through that. I went back, And then again, I still wasn't feeling well. It was around the holidays. I came back again to Gabs and still wasn't feeling well. It was just that whole back and forth. So definitely morning sickness doesn't only last in the morning. I was extremely fatigued. Sometimes, this is so terrible of me, I would get to work and then, because I'm an early bird, get to work early, push back my chair and sleep. I'd wake up at 10 a.m. Mind you, I'm a teacher. What's going on? I missed a class. I missed my morning classes. It was honestly so terrible. I was just not myself. I couldn't bring myself to be on my A game, and I hate being that person who is not showing up, who seems to be dodging, it just wasn't me. So there was a whole lot of guilt with regards to that because I just didn't know what was wrong with me. Fast forward, this is part of my first trimester. One thing that also I didn't know, when you're counting pregnancy, I would advise you to count it in weeks because it just made more sense for me to count it in weeks rather than saying, oh, I'm 1 month, 2 months. That was a bit confusing for me, because the weeks and the months don't quite correlate or add up, because there's some of those months that are like 5 weeks and it's kind of weird. But then yesterday I saw this other TikTok and a lady, it made sense. She counted it in threes. Let's see. She said, okay, you do the math for yourself, okay? So fast forward, I find out I'm pregnant. Alas, hooray, this is me. I finally have a diagnosis and I know what is wrong. I'm not dying. Me and little one are just battling it out to both stay in this belly. So what happens next is now the beautiful journey. I remember how happy I was. I remember going into my boss's. I told my husband first, obviously, and then I had to tell my supervisor because he had to know what was up with me because I've been shady for the past couple of months. He was excited and happy. I remember touching my little belly. There was nothing showing as yet, and I was just filled with so much joy. One of the things that I didn't quite realize was that my belly didn't quite pop until maybe 6 months. So I was always like, trying to force it in. Girl, you know what? You can actually get away with hiding your pregnancy if you're that kind of person until like 6 to 7 months in, Especially I hear for us first time moms, you don't pop until later in the pregnancy. That is when I really started beginning to show. Now, for my week to week, I had 3 YouTube channels. I'll link them down below. I'll also make sure to write out their details on the screen for you guys. These ladies I watched each and every week. They gave a week to week update on your pregnancy, what to expect, what to know, the milestones that you should be reaching with your pregnancy, right? I tried the apps that my friends were suggesting. I didn't really like the apps. So do what works for you, okay? Because one thing that I decided with myself is I'm not going to be forcing it. I'm not going to be forcing myself to be doing things that my friends did if I didn't want to do it, Some of the things that my friends suggested, I did because they were great and I saw that, okay, this can actually work for me. So I would be watching these moms every Tuesday because I believe that my baby turned every Tuesday. So each and every week my baby was hitting the milestones of pregnancy. I would be hearing, oh, today your baby is 10 weeks. He's the size of a strawberry. You should start be expecting heartburn right now. And guess what? Heartburn would start that very morning after I've heard it. I don't know. I don't even think it was an issue of the mind. I think my baby was hitting each and every milestone that they were supposed to be hitting. I was extra nauseous. I don't believe that I was moody. I believe that I was more aware. I became more aware because I didn't want to be moody. I didn't want to be chasing people away. If I realized that, today's not a really good day, I wasn't taking no calls. I'm not going to be meeting up with you, and to my hubby, like, I hear people saying that partners repel them. Ooh, child, I wanted that man beside me, okay? 100% happened. Since I was in a village far away. Okay, I came here after finding out that I'm pregnant. I went back to that initial gynecologist office, Dr. Museta. Excuse me, and I went to him, and he was quite excited to see me. Since 2022, right? Since 2021. Okay, whenever. He was excited to see me since 2022. Went there, and yeah, he did a scan. What I hear is if you go earlier on, you don't get to see your baby in the scan, hear a heartbeat and all that. Since I went later than usual, I could see my baby. Well, it was a tiny little, but he was already a little bit formed. Like, I could see something. And the heartbeat, this is when the dad almost shed a tear. He was like, "Oh, my baby boy, this is you." It was such a beautiful moment. Then I went back. I registered with the local clinic where I was living, and I started seeing the midwife. It wasn't weekly. In your early stages of pregnancy, you only get a doctor's visit every 4 weeks. So I saw her, I think, twice. She also did, my doctor ordered blood tests, but then I couldn't get the results until I got back, and I was only going to be coming back later in the year, later in December. So the midwife, ordered tests, and I was quite happy. They were quite similar, so I got the results from her, which was also very good. Some people do this, you register both sides. For me, it worked well. I didn't want to be paying for 2 gynes, medical aid 10%. I don't think so. So I just preferred to go to the local midwife, and she was super amazing. When I tell you that lady was super amazing, kudos to her. So as my pregnancy progressed and everything honestly went well with my pregnancy, I had such a beautiful journey. Apart from the fact that I was sick, apart from that, I believe that it was quite beautiful. Now let's get on to the list of things that I did not know until I was expecting. At number 1, we have not always wanting to pee. So I hear this quite a lot. People say, "Oh, you're gonna be peeing all the time." Child, I was not peeing all the time. I was only peeing at certain times, and I don't know, this was my journey. This was different. It certainly did surprise me that I wasn't peeing as much. I was drinking a lot of water. I drink 2 liters of water a day, and I still maintained that, but I still wasn't peeing all the time, Another heartburn is real. I started experiencing heartburn from 10 weeks. And when I tell you, it never left till 40 weeks on. I'm 40 weeks right now. Heartburn has been my life. I started taking syrups. First it was, I forgot the name of the syrup. And then I had Myogel, Gaviscon. It just started not being tasty for me. So now I just take these antacid tablets. Vaginal discharge. Let's have a conversation about vaginal discharge. When I got pregnant, people were like, "Ooh, girl, you be having that vaginal discharge all the time." I did not have vaginal discharge all the time, and it's perfectly normal. My doctor was like, "That's fine." Before my first trimester, there were hygiene issues. I was sharing, and at one point it was a situation where there were 3 of us in one house, and ladies, and there was no water at the place that we lived in. No water at all. We used to hustle to get water. It was terrible. It was unbearable, and that caused a yeast infection for me. So, but the midwife helped me in treating that. But then when I got back to my own house and just living with me and my husband, I never experienced that again. So definitely check out your hygiene situations, right? I'm sorry about that. The heat waves, I don't know why sometimes I call them lockdown. Heat waves were terrible. I was hot all the time. I wanted to cry at one point. We did get a fan. It was not enough. This is why I made the decision to save up for air cons. I'm having an air con in my bedroom. I'm having an air con in the living room. I'm having an air con in my baby's bedroom. I cannot bear or stand the heat. Definitely saving this up for the summer, because I'm hoping that by God's grace we'll survive this winter, because I cannot afford an aircon right now. I was always hot, child. Step out of the house, I'm hot. In the house, I'm hot. I think this is why up until 40 weeks I'm still chewing on ice cubes. I'll tell you how that goes. I hear if you're chewing ice cubes during your pregnancy, you're going to be cold. I'll tell you how that during labor and delivery. I'll tell you how that goes. Morning sickness, ne? I don't know why it's called morning sickness. This thing should be called demon sickness. I kid. I was sick from day 1 until the 7th month. Last week of month 6, I was sick. Okay, don't take it for granted. Every time I see a pregnant lady, I'm like, honey, I sympathize with you. I was sick. Morning sickness it just became unbearable. Being out of breath and extreme fatigue. Always tired. From month 7, 8, those 2 months were like, oh, so beautiful, to be quite honest. I miss them. Because I had energy. I was cleaning the house again. I told the cleaning lady, don't come anymore. I was walking, taking longer walks. Oh my goodness, it was a pure bliss. Okay, I'm back to that extreme fatigue. And I keep telling everybody that I'm just being gracious with it, okay? I'm going to be laying in bed all day and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm pregnant. I'm creating life. Allow me this rest, okay? Sitting down is hard, but getting up is even more hard. I did not know this before I was pregnant. Child, like getting up every time, let's say I'm at a mall or something and everybody's like, oh, pregnant lady, let's offer her a seat. I'm like, I'm good, because I know that the getting up is gonna cause me problems. Getting up from a chair right now, I'm wondering how I'm getting up from this chair. Okay, Then cravings are a lie, hey. I'm kidding, I kid. I did not know this, but it's not like every pregnant lady gets cravings. I didn't have that much cravings. In fact, I had food aversions. My first trimester, I was this thin. I was so skinny. I lost a lot of weight. I went from a 63 kg to a 51 in a matter of, I think, maybe 3 months. 2 months, because I found out at 2 months. Yeah, I was so skinny. At one point, when my husband came over to visit, he's like, he was so worried. He's like, no, you're coming back with me. I want to go and feed you, because I was so skinny. I had food aversions. I couldn't eat anything. I hated all food. I didn't have any cravings. I have this constant metallic feeling in my mouth. I understand people who had COVID now, what they meant when they said they could not taste anything. I can't. People always ask me, what's the one thing that you're always looking forward to? I'm like, child, getting back my taste buds. I can't wait to eat food and be like, I'm enjoying this. I'm loving this. My boobs grew bigger. That's a bummer. I got darker from here around my boobs, my neck and my boobs. I'm so glad that that is the only place that got darker. So I have dry skin, I have eczema, but then I got excessive dry skin during my pregnancy. I did not know about this, So you have to hydrate a lot, guys. Before I got pregnant, my friend Laune put me on the magnolia oil from Pep, and I used to rub it on my stomach. This was around February of 2023, and I've been using it ever since. It's such good stuff. I stopped using it around my 9th month, and I started using the Poshia M1. I don't know, now I'm starting to see stretch marks. I'm definitely going back to my Pep oil. So guys, choose what works for you, and I hope that it's not too late and you have these stretch marks. Not weird, sorry. Pregnancy glow was a myth to me. You see me looking good from month 6 there, 7 and 8. It's because of a skin routine, honey, okay? I stopped doing that, and look at all this rush. I'm a bit insecure about, my face right now, so I can't really give you a close-up look, but yeah, man, it's shout out to the people who get glowy skin. At least I got good hair. My hair was flourishing during my pregnancy. I cut my hair, but it was flourishing. Even right now, I feel like it is flourishing. Your gums are going to be sensitive. My gums were definitely sensitive. They would bleed. Try brushing your teeth, more especially because I had a problem with my toothpaste. It was just unbearable. Bloating and diarrhea. I had diarrhea most of the time, not bloating, and I hated that my mom would always make me feel bad, like, oh, diarrhea is so bad, you better be watching what you're eating, this can make you lose your baby. Another thing, guys, avoid negativity. I have this pregnancy buddy. She would always be worried, talking about preeclampsia, I'm like, girl, this child is from God himself. This might just be baby Jesus. God inserted this baby inside of me, honey. Away with all that negativity. So I really, really avoided negativity. Nobody warned me that you'll be blacking out. I'll be doing my dishes and then I start blacking out. It was a terrible thing to experience, but I had to be more kind to myself, not to take on a lot of tasks, not to be on my feet most of the time. Guys, book that book that physio, okay? Trust me, I had extreme back pain. My back was crazy. I did physio for 4 weeks. Best thing ever. I had swollen feet. My feet were so swollen. But right now, they're okay. I still can't put on shoes. I'm wearing flip-flops out of the house all the time, even when it's cold. But that physio definitely did help me. I don't even think those flip-flops would fit. My back is painful, but it's not as extreme as it was. I'm able to bear the weight. It's great, Everything hurts, okay? Everything. Like I said, I didn't really have mood swings, but I only wanted my husband. I'm sorry to my friends. I'm so sorry to my friends. This is a funny one. I thought that my ass was going to be popping. I thought that I was going to have this round, juicy butt for my husband to grab. Nope. Flat. That was a funny thing. Let's not forget the hunger. You can't eat anything, you're always hungry. It just didn't make sense. So you're always trying to figure out, what can I eat? So I would find something that, there was a certain time that I could only eat matogo. Now I can't anymore. I would have that for like 2 weeks straight, eating nothing but that. The next 2 weeks I have to hunt for something new. The struggle. And lastly, this one was more painful. My wedding ring didn't fit. Also, guys, pregnancy brain is such a thing. Anyways, petition for my push present to be a new phone. I know my husband already got me camera equipment, but I can't exactly be vlogging with camera equipment because they don't really allow that in public places, and it's kind of awkward, But I'm just hoping that I get a new phone and I get it soon, because this phone keeps on running out of storage and my videos keep cutting midway through, and then I just have to start a whole new conversation. Pregnancy brain is such a thing. Right now I tried to rewatch the whole video on what I talked about, and I can't even recall anything, and it's the next day since I had that cut. But anyway, moving on with my list. Listen to me. The thing that I didn't know was that everything will hurt. Okay, and when I mean everything, I mean everything. My legs, my hands hurt. It's like I tell my husband that, is it because I'm a mature prima gravida, I'm a mature person who's pregnant? I mean, I'm 32. It's yeah, you're a bit on the older side. Have kids early. I'm not taking that back. Have kids early. And then another thing, I don't think I necessarily had mood swings. I tried. I was very, very much cautious, because my husband says when I was going through the trying to get pregnant journey, trying to conceive, he could see the difference and shift as far as my moods were concerned. So I tried to be more aware and awake. There was this one time there at my workplace, and I, at the time, had already just recently found out I was pregnant. Then I was sitting in the staff lounge area, and then somebody was having Russian hot dog, what do you call it, sausage roll. Anyway, Russian kamagwinya, the real OGs, you know what I'm talking about. just the smell of it, I started vomiting. I was pissed. Started screaming at everybody and telling them how inconsiderate they are, how the management needs to have like a rule against eating in like a public common area. That's as far as it went. And like if I didn't want to talk to anybody or not up to it, I just wouldn't answer the phone, and I would respond back later and say, hey, I was sleeping or something, just so that I don't make people feel bad. So I was really trying to be careful and cautious. So I'll just say to people with pregnant women, be very, very considerate. But anyway, from the things that I did not know and my first and second trimester journey, in the second next week video, you can expect to see my third trimester journey and things I now know as a preggers, and I'll just give you tips on how to tackle everything. Thank you guys for tuning into my pregnancy journey. Please feel free to ask me anything now that after these videos I'll be a mom and like a little bit more experienced on how things work. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys so much. I am so out of breath. Plus my ring doesn't fit. It's uncomfortable going around in public places with my ring. Without my ring, I had asked my husband to get me a bigger size ring, and he was like, no, I don't think that's necessary. Okay, he doesn't really talk like that, but you get the drift. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in.